What's up, guys? It's Fat Aaron coming to you with the second part of the good old college commentary series Bonanza. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the college Bonanza series. Anyways, the first episode, as you may have watched, if you haven't, will be in the description. But it is also about getting acclimated to college as like a freshman, choosing your college, and kind of figuring out yourself and what you want to be involved with. This episode, on the other hand, is going to be more focused on the academic side. Something that I may not be the best at commenting on, I guess, because I did not go to class that often. Actually, I had taken a math class in my high school that counted for college credit, but it wasn't an AP class. It was actually just a college course taught by a teacher in school, and they were given authority through New York State to, I guess, give like college credit for it. So I took that college calculus class, and I was supposed to have gotten, college calc credit for it, but I was not so lucky, and I actually had to end up taking calc all over again. So I was like, okay, I get to take calculus, my credits haven't transferred, whatever. Come like a month later, the credit transfers into like a month into the school year, and I'm like, okay, so that means I have my credits, and this class doesn't count anymore. Well, for one, it screwed me because I was going to drop one class and pass fail another because I was getting used to college, not doing too well because I didn't like doing work. Now I'm getting a phone call and I'm not going to answer that. Anyways, I stopped going to that calc class and thought, whatever, I'm just going to have to deal with the grades I get in the other class because I can't pass fail and drop the other one. So I just went with it, and I was told later on in the semester that I was going to get an F on my transcript if I did not go to class and do well because I'd just been, skipping tests. Like I had like a 99 on my first test, a 100 on my first quiz, whatever. But then when I stopped going, I stopped doing the assignments, and I was going to get an F on my transcript. So had to drop it, or I had to pay $20 to get it withdrawn and taken off my transcript, and that kind of sucked. But I had to do what I had to do. Anyways, so that was taken care of, and now in that whole time period in that first semester is when I really realized that, I'm not going to stress about class too much. I mean, it's definitely, you have to pass. You have to get good enough grades to get into, say, a grad school, or just to graduate and, look like you've done something while you've been at school. And for me, I basically was more happy with what I was doing outside of class, with the friends I was making and things of that nature. And it ended up paying off, like I've mentioned before, but I saw a lot of people studying a lot, and I still know people who study their brains out, and they study all year long, and then they still pull all-nighters at the end of the semester. And I sit there and I think, because I'm like, I commend them. I don't know how they can do it, because I certainly know that I can't, because I just don't have the patience for something that I don't think is worth it. And look at that little noob. He stood up from final stand and then got pwned again. Oh, eat it, nerd. So the academics, for me, didn't really play that much of a role in like what I thought, but a lot of my friends, they have like engineering majors, and yes, a lot of majors are more difficult than others. Psychology majors, at least in my school, were very focused on just doing tests, and you had like one research class. When you got to the higher, more advanced classes, they were actually a lot easier because you got to do like group work. The classes were smaller size, they weren't large, but for the most part, yeah, my experience wasn't that hard. English majors have a lot of writing to do. They're going to be reading a lot of books, doing a lot of writing. Chemistry majors and people like that are going to be doing a lot of tests. And engineering majors are going to be doing a lot of projects. Same thing with people in like accounting and business majors. You're going to be doing a lot of projects and probably have a solid amount of tests and homework. So everyone is kind of different. It depends. Mine was test-based, like I said, but I did take a lot of other random courses. And if you go to a college, know that if you get into a large lecture hall class, like a class that has more than 50 kids, it's going to be pretty difficult because the class is usually more focused on test taking and not homework assignments, unless you have like TAs and you have little TA sessions or discussion sessions, because it's just too hard for a teacher to try to get to know 150 people in each class and to then grade them and spend that time they're not going to be able to, like in a 25, 30 person class. You can know everyone, you can grade their assignments, you can see their improvements and know if they're doing the right work or not, rather than just being a number on like a test, like a Scantron test. So it's just very different. It's kind of like Call of Duty in a sense that it's all situational. It's what you get put into. And if I was in a different major, I probably would have not have done so well with the amount of work I did. But I know that I would have probably enjoyed the work more if I was in that field. For example, I'm actually kind of confused. This is something I'm going to be confused about forever. I don't think I'm that good of a writer, but I've always done very well in English classes. Granted, I feel like it's easier, maybe it's just easier for me and the way my brain works, but I think the lowest grade I ever got in a paper was like my first year as a freshman taking an intro class. I think I got like a B minus. Other than that, I've always gotten at least like an A minus or a B plus on a paper. But that doesn't necessarily mean that English is easy. There's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of research involved, researching your topics to back up your points. It's very situational, like I said, and it's important to figure out what sort of work you want to be doing. If you are really good with math, maybe you should be a math major or a science major. You work very well in problem solving. If you like to research and express your ideas in English or like in writing, maybe you should be an English major or like a history major. It's actually very important. Money isn't everything, and you will realize this once you start going through college. At least I hope you do, because I realized it, and it made the entire difference for me. Psychology, I didn't really get to do it or I didn't start taking classes until my sophomore year. I did take intro psychology, but it wasn't really what psychology was about. But I actually really enjoyed doing it. And another way that you will find out whether you enjoy doing something or not is how much time you take outside of the class and outside of your classwork to learn something. I love psychology. I love like the theories behind it and finding out the way people's minds work. But I also did a lot of stuff outside the class, like researching things on friendships, relationships, sex, sports, competitiveness, all these sort of things, like why we get upset over certain things, why we value certain things more than others, why foods taste a certain sort of way, what makes us think differently, how our emotions affect the way we act, how our perceptions affect the way we act and affect the world around us, our beliefs, all these sorts of things. I did all that on my free time. I basically said screw it to class, and I got some solid baselines in class, but I learned a lot more outside. So my suggestion for academics is find something you're going to take some pride in and work at, so you won't get bored and hate it and hate your life. Anyways, wrapped up the gameplay 41-4 with a Silence UMP. This is the college commentary Bonanza bunghole series part 2. I somehow got the final kill 10 minutes ago, but that's what it is. Anyways, leave a like, leave a comment, be looking out for some more college commentary Bonanza series videos. That's repetitive and it's fatter, and I'm not going to stop talking or breathing. Peace!